Namaste, my name is Ojasvi Chandok and I welcome you to Series 4 of the Festival of Bharat. We are a platform that believes in having open and civilized discussions. And today, here with us, we have Anandji. Anandji is a widely respected journalist. He is the executive editor of Network 18 and an anchor at CNN News 18 and News 18 India. Anandji, namaste, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Namaste and thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Anandji, my first question to you is, as somebody who loves their nation and our civilizational heritage, what does Bharat mean for you?
Well, that's a very difficult question and a very easy question because आप भारत को समझने जाएंगे तो युगों लग जाएंगे. एक जीवन काल कम है. One lifetime is not enough. But if you understand what the essence of us, of who we are as a nation, I think it's there in the name Bharat itself. Bharat, that means Surya ki taraf rath lekar chalne wala desh, or that region or that civilization. So the whole idea is that it's the pursuit. Sun is associated with knowledge, sun is associated with light, sun is associated with life. So that's the pursuit that we as a civilization have always followed. So that if we are able to understand that, and that we excel in what we do. That is who we are. So we are not just Bharatvasis, we have to be Bharatwadis. That means that we understand, imbibe the essence of who we are as a nation. And the fact is कि हमने किसी को अपना नहीं किया. That means we have not annexed. We have not had the habit of annexing what belongs to somebody else. But our core culture has been that जो यहाँ आया वो यहाँ का हो गया. So whoever came here, and we have opened our arms as a civilization to everybody. Yes, there have been fights, wars, conflicts, etc. But those who came here, they all came here. They all came here because they were lured by the knowledge. They were lured by the lustre of this ancient civilization, this ancient nation that finds its roots to more than 7,500 years ago. That knowledge, that quest for excellence, that for me is Bharat. Not the one that perhaps has been shrouded in a veil and been conditioned to think that they're inferior to the world, and they've got to look towards a civilization that is not even one fourth as old as who we are as a nation and who we are as a people. So that for me is the understanding. The fact that we have a Srimad Bhagavad Gita, that the fact that we have a Valmiki's Ramayana, which talks about our existence, our civilization, which talks about agriculture, which talks about space, which talks about science, which talks about all the aspects, and we have engineering marvels which the modern world is figuring out now, which we already have on our soil. More than 15, 2,000 years, 3,000 years old structures, which are geometrically, symmetrically, and geographically positioned in such a way that you had to understand not just astronomy and astrology, but you had to know, you have to have traveled in space to be able to get a perspective that they did. So all of that is a realization that we need to have, and that belief that this is our background, this is who we are, this is where we are from. So imagine what we can do and where we can go. It's like, I'm just going to take 2 more minutes. कि वो कहते हैं ना कि Jambavan woke up Hanuman. Lord Hanuman or Hanuman forgot who he was, the infinitesimal powers that he had, because it was all shrouded. उनको बुला दिया था. Because when he jumped towards eating the Surya, after that they said, your powers are so great that you will not to forget and you will be awakened at the right time. This is that time that we need to awaken, realize who we are as a nation, who we are as a people, and then just realize that potential that we have. That for me is being a Bharatwadi. That for me is Bharat.
That's such a beautiful way to put it, Anandji. That's really incredible and also so true. My next question to you is that there have been many articles, especially from foreign media, about how India is not really free under the Modi government. As a senior journalist with insights within the Indian media, could you please tell us what the actual situation in India really is?
Well, in Prime Minister Modi, there will always be people who will not like someone. There will always be people who will have an ulterior motive or who would have been asked to portray a particular person, particular leadership in bad light, and to try and portray a picture. So that is, people will always have opinions. We have to see around us what this person has delivered for us as a country in the last 6 years. Do you not respect your passport a little more? Do you not find that the world respects your passport? पहले इंडियन बोलने में शर्म आती थी ना, अब चौड़ से बोलते हैं ना इंडिया के. That is what has happened under Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The world has started respecting us as a nation. To, you know, what all has he not done? Moved, linked bulk of India. See, he was not talking to, there is a difference in our country, unfortunately, that there is an India and there is a Bharat. There is an English-speaking group and an elite group which thinks that, and that is only 0.1% of this country, which does the thinking and believes the remaining 99.9% are doers. So this is a problem that we have. He has broken that, and he has said that I am for Bharat. I am for that last mile, and I am going to equip that last person in the last mile in the real, farthest corner of my country, and I am going to enable that person. That's what he has done, and it's no mean feat to be able to feed 800 million people for 9 months and still doing so despite the COVID-19 pandemic. That is what Prime Minister Narendra Modi has done. To be able to send money into the pockets, into the accounts of so many crores of Kisan households and families without fail, and that money reaching directly into their account. He first helped them open those accounts, then gave them an identity, and then made sure that that money went never nowhere else. He is not a prime minister who has to stand there apologetically and say कि हम कमाते 100 रुपए हैं लेकिन उसका 15 रुपया भी to the least common denominator तक पहुंचता ही नहीं है because बाकी पूरा सिस्टम खा जाता है. उन्होंने सिस्टम को ही हटा दिया जो खा जाता है. Why did he need to do it? Why did he need to do it? What is his interest in doing what he's doing? What is his interest in trying to portray a picture of our nation? What is his interest in trying to say that we are going to help the world? We are going to be Vishwaguru. Why does he need to do that? Why did he have to do demonetization at a time when he was at the peak of his success? Why 282 सीट जीतने के बाद वो 4 साल टांग ऊपर करके बैठ सकते थे, आराम से अपने 5 साल जॉब करके जा सकते थे. क्या जरूरत है उनको 15 घंटे काम करने? I've seen him in US at close quarters working. In the US, I'll tell you, I was working 16 hours, but the Prime Minister had finished his first meeting before I woke up, and he sent out his last message to his team after I had gone off to sleep. When I was tracking as a news journalist, we were working 16 hours a day, we were working like crazy, but the PM was working harder. I have respect for a man who is so passionate about the country. That is the reality. The reality is that today you step out of your city to any place that you want to go, your highways are happening. You're taking at least 1 hour less than what it used to take you earlier. You don't have to wait for half an hour, 40 minutes at toll gates. This is happening because this person's vision and the team that is working with him. They are there with a drive that they want the nation to do well. They want to leave a legacy where the nation talks about it and the nation is proud of what they do. Why would I not back a man like that? Why would I not support somebody like that? Anybody who's willing to do anything for the good of my nation while helping me out, I will back that person irrespective of which political party or ideology they believe. See, the BJP, many people say, is a right-wing party. Sorry, there are no right-wing. They are doing more socialist and welfare work than many left-driven parties and left-leaning parties are concerned. So let's not all these schemes are all welfare schemes. This is all socialist moves. This is not a right thinking. This one, the Prime Minister's Rashtravanti is that the soul of the budget, the soul of the Prime Minister's policy making is the Chota Kisan. The moment he's saying that he's a socialist, the idea is that he will take and imbibe. See, in our country, secularism is a very raw, convoluted meaning. So we are not a secular nation at all. A nation where temples are managed by the government. 80% of the temples in our country are managed by state governments and the government or the center. We can't be a secular nation then. where the church and the state are not separate. So our definition of secularism is different. Our definition of nationalism is also different. It's not what the British defined Hitler as a nationalist and a fascist. No. Ours is a cultural nationalism where we take pride in who we are as a civilization, as an entity. And that is what Prime Minister Modi is asking all of us to be. What's wrong? You may not agree with his point of view. You may not, but at least agree with that. He's taking the nation. He's given our nation. He's given us a direction. He's telling us this is where we ought to be. This is who we are, and this is our personality. Isn't he defining us, defining that for us? And in the last 6 years, tell us one thing that he has not tried to do, which is in the interest of the country. It may be against his own political interest, but he has gone ahead and done it. Why has he done it? Why did he and Amit Shah have to think about abrogating Article 370? Why bring in an instant teen talaq, a kanun against instant teen talaq? Because there is gender justice requirement, isn't it? Those who stand with Mombattis and say we want gender justice are the ones who are questioning the abolition of instant teen talaq. Those who say we want all of India and POJK is India and Kashmir must be resolved are yet unwilling to accept that 370 had to be abrogated. A footnote in our constitution should not be there for 70 years. He's gone ahead and done it. What was his political capital in doing it? उनको क्या फायदा मिला? CAA, Namshudras, Dalits who fled Bangladesh, who are here for the last 70 years, who are 50 to 60 years without a ration card in Bengal. Why? They don't deserve an identity. उनकी 3 पुश्तें यहाँ पैदा हो गई, उनको अपने आइडेंटिटी नहीं थी, सिटीजनशिप नहीं थी. जो वेस्ट पाकिस्तान छोड़ के आए, जो जम्मू कश्मीर में बसे, उनको आपने जम्मू कश्मीर का नेटिव तक नहीं माना. जबकि another person who came and settled in Punjab became Prime Minister of our country in Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. How is that fair? How is that justice? Is that who we are as a nation? Right. He has tried to do everything that should have been done in the last 70 years, in the last 6 years. He's telling us to pick up the pace. He's telling us to say कि कछुए की तरह नहीं, अब आपको rabbit या hare की तरह दौड़ना पड़ेगा. Because we have to play catch up. Right. That's what he's doing, and that's the reason why people may say what they want to say. We are seeing, we are experiencing. वो हिंदी में कहावत है, प्रत्यक्ष को प्रमाण की जरूरत नहीं. So we are witness to what is happening around us. So we don't need a Rihanna or a Greta Thunberg or somebody else or a New York Times or a Washington Post to write about who we are as a nation and what we are.
Right.
वो पहले अपनी देख लें. A two-party democracy couldn't decide a president for 2.5 months. ये हमको ज्ञान देने चले हैं. We are a multi-party democracy. We run free and fair elections and fantastically across 29 states. इनसे two-party democracy नहीं संभाली जाती है. हमको क्या ज्ञान दें? Anyway.
Right. Anandji, talking about this hypocrisy that sort of exists within the system. Since yesterday, a lot of us are either horrified or angry, or even both for that matter, about the absolutely brutal murder of Rinku Sharma. And honestly, I am just out of words right now, but what I would like to understand is, why is there a certain section in the media that tries to sort of whitewash these lynchings that take place, especially when it comes to Hindus? You know, we have seen this over and over and over again. It happened with Kamlesh Tiwari, Nikita Tomar, Ankit Saxena, and so many more names that I can't even remember from the top of my head. So why do we have a certain section within our own country who try to whitewash all of these horrific murders and lynchings?
Let me tell you one thing. Every crime, every murder, every act of lynching is a crime. Okay, what fuels it? Be it communal hate, be it rivalry, be it what an argument gone bad, or is it just drunken stupor? The fact of the matter is, a crime is a crime. So be it Akhlaq or Ankit Tiwari or Rinku Sharma, lynching is wrong.
Right.
Whoever lynches is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Those who have done it, they must be punished. There's no justifying this. There is no justifying this. To link everything with a communal angle and to look for a casteist angle is unfair. But here is the reality. The reality in our country is that we, when I say we as a nation, and largely the majority, that is Hindus, despite our country being partitioned on religion, on the two-nation theory, where a separate land was voted for and taken by those who said we want it only for Islam, where all minorities, that is non-Islamic religions, are perishing, where more than 225 ancient temples, more than 2000 years, some more than 2000 years old, are in a state of dilapidated distress. A nation which is less than 70 years, which is just 70 years old, has got nothing beyond that in its history because it is ashamed and it is so religiously bigoted that it won't accept its civilizational roots and its culture. That is Pakistan. What were we called? We were never Hindustan. We were named Hindustan because of the two nations. We are actually Bharat. We decided to be, after partition, Bharat, because we said we will give space to everyone because we will hold on to our civilizational roots. But in the process, over the last 30, 40 years, what's happened is we've been made to feel apologetic about being Sanatanis, or those who follow the Hindu way of life in our country. We've been made to feel apologetic. तो राम को कोई कुछ भी बोले चलेगा, लेकिन कोई वहां रहीम कह दे तो बोले आप कम्युनल है. ठीक है, अरे हिंदू को मार दिया चुप रहो, मुस्लिम को मार दिया अरे चिल्लाओ, क्रिश्चियन को मार दिया चिल्लाओ. ये कंडीशनिंग है जिसका मैं आई एम नॉट फॉर इट. क्राइम हुआ है, गलत है. क्यों हुआ है? अगर कम्युनल हेट्रेड की वजह से हुआ है तो जिसने भी किया है उसको उतना ही सख्त सजा मिलनी चाहिए जितना किसी और को मिलेगी. There can be no differentiation. But in our country, that's what happens. We've been conditioned, we've been used to feel that it's okay if Hindus are bashed. It's okay if there is Hindu bashing. It's okay if Ram, Muruga, Durga, all of them are disrespected because that is freedom of speech and expression. लेकिन रहीम को कुछ मत कहना, क्राइस्ट को कुछ मत कहना, और गुरु नानक को कुछ मत कहना, इनको कुछ नहीं कह सकता. पर हाँ, हिंदू देवी देवताओं को जो बोलना है, ये जो है ना, दिस इज रॉन्ग. आइदर यू से कि किसी को कुछ भी बोलो, या कहो कि भाई सर्वधर्म संभाव. दैट मीन्स द सेम ट्रीटमेंट फॉर एवरीवन, द सेम एटीट्यूड फॉर एवरीवन. आई एम फॉर इट. As far as Rinku Sharma's case is concerned, what's happened is wrong. There are elements and there is reality. Sometimes we also jump to a particular conclusion because the first thing we look for is a Hindu-Muslim angle. Point is, whatever happened on ground, does that reflect you and me as Hindus and Muslims? Is largely all of India like that? Are we so bigoted? No, we are not. Are we so intolerant? No, we are not. What happened there is wrong. It was triggered by a particular cause and effect as a cycle of events. There may be certain claims. It's to investigation. Has the Delhi police made arrests? Yes. Were the people or locals? Yes. Were the accused and the victim living between 10 meters from each other? Yes. These are all facts. It's very easy to jump to conclusions. It's very difficult to hold on, ascertain the facts, and then take a position. There are those who will jump onto this bandwagon because उनको यही खेलना आता है, यही गेम खेलना आता है कि मुसलमानों को डराओ, हिंदू के खिलाफ भड़काओ, हिंदुओं को मुसलमानों के खिलाफ उकसाओ और लड़ाओ. बहुत इजी हो जाता है. लेकिन ये दो चीजें हमारी रियलिटी है कि हमको हिंदू होने पर शर्मिंदा होना पड़ता है. We need to feel inferior and apologetic, saying तुम मेजॉरिटी में हो तो तुमको दब के रहना होगा क्योंकि माइनॉरिटी को स्पेस देने की जरूरत है. वहीं घूम जाइए पाकिस्तान में, मेजॉरिटी है तो हम मेजॉरिटी है भाई. अगर आपको भी है ना तो आप हमारे साथ जुड़ जाओ, कलमा पढ़ लो, नहीं तो गाय बाहर. वो सिख सब जो आज खालिस्तान खालिस्तान करके इंडिया की तरफ घूम रहे, वो ये भूल गए कि वहां सबके केश कंगा सबको काट के कर दिया कि कलमा पढ़ो. जब 47 में जिस तरह से काट दिया, ननकाना साहब वहां पर है, करतारपुर साहब वहां पर है, लेकिन ये कुरपतवंत पन्नूम जैसे लोग भारत की तरफ नजर लाद के. See, so there is a very deep-rooted psyche which needs to change. You have to be equanimous across the board. That is something which is not happening. And I know a lot of people who are part of my fraternity may be involved in it, may not be involved in it. They may have their own points of view. I do not go and fight with them. I do not troll people of my own fraternity, although they indulge in all of that. Because I believe, like the Prime Minister said, we may have our own internal differences, but to the world we must always pose a united front. So for me, my fraternity, I respect it. We may all have different views, but I'm not going to go and badmouth my fraternity in front of others by taking names and rolling them in public and all. Yeah, I have a point of view, and I'll keep it, and I'll express it, and I'm not ashamed of it.
Right. Right. But Anandji, my question then is that, of course, nobody's going to justify mob lynchings and nobody's going to, and there will be people who will try to look at it from a communal angle. But then my question is, how do we decide where we draw that line, in the sense that we are made to feel bad about our own roots, and we are made to feel ashamed about being in the majority. But then how do we sort of make a distinction between, oh, this is a point where they're trying to guilt trip us in a way, and this is the point where it's leading towards something that is communal with no basis?
All of us have got space between the ears, and there is something called brains, which makes you think rationally. So before the heart takes over, you have to sit back and think rationally and understand. That's one. Two, we need to know who we are. We need to read our scriptures and understand our cultural background. We don't read. We are not rooted to our culture. We are not rooted to what our civilizational ethos is. And that's why others can tell us what to think. See, we are like a blank sheet of paper, ना? तो blank sheet में तो आप कुछ भी लिख सकते हो. खाली डिस्क है, तो उसमें आप कुछ भी भर दोगे ना. You can upload anything. But if that disk is full, then you can't force feed something. That is what we need to do. We need to be more aware as to who we are. See, this is a 300-year cycle of conditioning where the English came and said कि गोरे अच्छे हैं, everything that is white is good, everything that they do is right, we are uncivilized. But आज पूरी दुनिया में कोरोना के टाइम में लोग क्या कर रहे थे, जो हम 7000 साल से कर रहे हैं. क्या? नमस्ते. तो ये हमारे पास पहले से ही है ना? तो क्यों भूल गए कि हम, तो वो कौन होते हैं हमको बताने वाले? हमारे सारे देवी देवता, कृष्ण को तो हम श्याम हैं, श्याम की हम पूजा करते हैं. माँ हमारी काली है, उनकी भी पूजा करते हैं. तो हमें हमारे काले होने से ज्यादा हमको गोरों पे क्यों लगाव है? ये सब ना फीड किया गया हमारे यहाँ. तो ये सब जो है, आप कहते हैं ना, आपके कंप्यूटर, आपके सिस्टम में ये कैश जब ये हो जाता है, फाइल्स आ जाती हैं, ओवर, आप उसको डिलीट करते हैं ना, क्लीन करते हैं सिस्टम को. तो हमें भी हमारी सोच को क्लीन करने की जरूरत है. एंड ऑल रिलीजन्स व्हिच आर हियर इन इंडिया, अब मैं आपको एक चीज और बताता हूँ. आप दुनिया का कोई भी पंथ ले लीजिए, यानी कोई भी प्रैक्टिस, रिलीजियस प्रैक्टिस, थियोलॉजिकल प्रैक्टिस ले लीजिए, कोई भी एब्राहमिकल रिलीजन ले लीजिए, कोई भी पेगनिस्टिक रिलीजन ले लीजिए. If they are here in Bharat, all their sects, all their versions are there in Bharat. Okay, Ahmadiyas are not considered Muslims in Pakistan. They are banned in so many other nations. Shias are fighting with Sunnis. Okay, Turkey is attacking Azerbaijan. All of that is happening. Iraq and Iran fought. All of that is happening. But in our country, all 72 sects of Islam are present. Baha'i has its base here. Okay, Udwada mein, Iran's the holy fire of the Parsis, of the Zoroastrians. It's not in Persia. It's not in Iran. It's here in Bharat. So the seat of Buddhism is Bharat. The world over they come to Bodh Gaya. म्यांमार का आर्मी चीफ को पूछोगे ना आपको करना क्या है, इसे देखिए, गंगा नहाते हैं ना हिंदू, उनको बोध गया में आना है, सारनाथ, और बोध गया और सारनाथ. So that is their pilgrimage. This is who we are as a nation.
Right.
Islam is here in our country since 6th century AD, late 6th century AD. So the world does not need to teach us how we treat Muslims and other religions. Sorry, the world needs to learn from us how we treat people and other religions, because जो यहाँ आया, जैसे मैंने आपको कहा ना, ये हमारी सभ्यता है. जो यहाँ पे आया वो साथ में रहेंगे, पड़ोसी हैं, आपस में कभी कभी अनबन होती रहती है लेकिन एक दूसरे की मदद करते हैं। यही रिंकू शर्मा है जिसने जिसने उसकी हत्या की है, उसकी गर्भवती बीवी को 2 बार खून दिया है, कोरोना काल में उनको अस्पताल लेके गया है। तो कोई तो वजह होगी ना, और ताली कभी एक हाथ से नहीं बजती, ये हमको समझने की जरूरत है। चाहे वो अखलाक हो या रिंकू शर्मा, अंकित तिवारी हो या कोई और, a crime is a crime. If it is come out of hate, then we need to introspect, and everybody introspects. Nobody likes it. But one point is that we need to present a united front to the world and also within us.
Right. Right. Talking about tolerance and about free speech in our country, um, what I would like to ask you is where do we stand right now in terms of free speech? The recent debates that have been going on about Twitter ban, right? There are some who are calling for it, and there are some who are saying that banning these platforms goes against our values of free speech. So where is it that we exactly stand on the issue?
Well, I'm going to quote Ram Madhav ji when I just spoke to him the other day, and he said, "Your freedom ends where my nose begins." Okay, so freedom of expression, freedom of speech comes with reasonable rights, duties, and restrictions. You are free to air your view as long as you do not get personal, abusive, and disrespectful to me. Okay, so a lot of the trolls which I have seen, they do it just to get your attention. They abuse for abusing sake because they feel that they will provoke and evoke a reaction, and उस तरह से उनकी following बढ़ेगी. This is one aspect. With Twitter, my problem is Twitter can take a position, and I agree with Ravi Shankar Prasad कि आपने 60,000 ट्वीट्स ट्विटर हैंडल्स को बैन कर दिया और डिसबैंड कर दिया because of what happened in Capitol Hill. You have banned former President Donald Trump for life from your platform. But you are unwilling to delete and do away with hashtags which caused what happened on Red Fort. You are willing to push hashtags like farmer genocide. Do you know the meaning of genocide? Of course you do. But that doesn't mean, इंडिया है तो चलेगा, यूएस में नहीं चलेगा, या मुझे वो पसंद नहीं है तो इसलिए वो नहीं चलेगा, ये पसंद है तो इसलिए ये चलेगा. That cannot be done. You cannot be promoting Khalistani Twitter handles, and there is evidence to this, that in June 2019, till 6th of June 2019, which is Bindranwale's birth anniversary, Twitter was promoting Khalistani hashtags and Khalistani tweets, and it said promoted. There are images to that which have been submitted. And on 15th of June, they suspended those accounts. तो खुराफात कर रहे हैं ना. तो अगर आपको फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन है तो आप एक्सप्रेशन करिए, लेकिन खुराफात, मेरे देश को तोड़ने की खुराफात आप करोगे, उसको आप अपना प्लेटफॉर्म को, यू आर गोइंग टू अलाउ अदर पीपल टू यूज टू ट्राई एंड ब्रेक माय नेशन एंड चैलेंज माय सॉवरेनिटी. सॉरी, दैट इज नॉट राइट. That is not right. A Jack Dorsey can endorse Rihanna, who has a misconceived understanding of the protests, farmer protests. That's his personal view. Mm-hmm. But Twitter can't then say that we are not going to give a platform, and we are going to try and dilute and put an algorithm where the right information does not, those hashtags don't trend, but the wrong information and the wrong hashtags trend. And they are promoted and pushed. That means आपका एक एजेंडा लेके आप आए हो, तो फिर आप एक इंडिपेंडेंट प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं, आप एक ओपिनियनेटेड प्लेटफॉर्म हो. It's not a platform for opinions, you're an opinionated platform. Mm-hmm. So if Twitter is not an opinionated platform, then let them show it. भाई शी जिनपिंग और उइगुर्स के बारे में अगर मैं कोई हैशटैग लगा दूं तो वो नहीं पड़ता है, सस्पेंड हो जाता है, क्वेश्चन हो जाता है. पर यहां पे उन्होंने मोदी फार्मर जेनोसाइड जैसे हैशटैग्स को अलाउ किया. This is like too much. No, it's what happens is when you show that you're tolerant, people think you're weak. जब आपकी बर्दाश्त करने की हद होती है ना, बर्दाश्त करने को तैयार होते हैं, तो लोगों को लगता है भाई ये ठीक है. जब तक आप चौड़ में नहीं आते कोई आपको सीरियसली नहीं लेता. तो हमें एज अ कंट्री थोड़ा अपने आप को असर्ट करना पड़ेगा. That's and I agree with that.
Right.
There's nothing wrong in a muscular posture. A muscular posture does not mean you're going to attack somebody. You're taking a muscular posture saying, don't mess with me. So there is a difference between in this. There's an old story that Bhagwan Gautam Buddha was going through, walking through a park, through a jungle, a village to the jungle, and लोग कह रहे थे भगवान आप वहां से मत जाइए, ये वहां सांप है, जो भी वहां जाता है उसको डस लेता है. So he said, अच्छा मैं जाके देखता हूँ. And then came out a big cobra and just about to bite Gautam Buddha, and he said, he looked at him and looked at the snake and said, do you really need to do this? And he gave him diksha, and then he walked. He went away. He says, try and be calm. You don't need to take a life unless you need to feed yourself. So don't try and be poisonous.
Mhm.
So the snake became docile. तो गांव वाले वहां से जाने लगे, देखा सांप कुछ नहीं कर रहा है, तो गांव वालों ने उसको पत्थर लेकर मारना शुरू कर दिया. तो गौतम बुद्ध वापस आए और देखा सांप की अधमरी हालत है. बोले तुमको क्या हो गया? सर आप ही ने तो कहा कि अहिंसा के पथ पर चलो. सर मैंने कहा कि किसी का अहित मत करना, अहिंसा के पथ पर चलो, पर मैंने ये नहीं कहा कि तुम अपने फन मत फैलाओ. You see, that is the difference. If we start asserting ourselves as a nation, people will also learn to draw the line.
Right. But then मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि हम assert कैसे करें अपने आप को? अगर हमें tolerant भी, which we are tolerant people, right? We are inclusive, tolerant people. If we have to continue on that path and then also be assertive, how do we really do that?
Why? What did we do with China? What did we do with China? How difficult is that? What is the Prime Minister doing? What would you do? You listen to everybody, right? But if somebody tries to mess with you, you'll stand up and say, "Bas, back off." तो जो हम खुद करते हैं, वो एज अ कंट्री हमको करना है.
And ये हमें हर प्लेटफॉर्म के साथ करना है, in the sense that like we just talked about President Donald Trump being banned from Twitter, right? And a lot of other accounts being banned as well. There also have been accusations about Facebook and Instagram and all of these platforms showing bias and interfering in elections, right? So question one is ki you spoke about being agenda driven, right? About these platforms. So what is the agenda really? I mean, what is their agenda? What
It's
are
all
they
business.
trying to achieve?
See, for a lot of them, it's business, and it's all paid for. No, somebody is paying them money to do something, right? So let them declare that they have an agenda. Let them take sides very clearly, so that I know ये कहाँ है, ये कहाँ है. Let them not claim to be independent. That's one part. Secondly, see, individuals, political parties, politics, personal opinions, वो अलग जगह है. देश को तोड़ने का काम आप करना शुरू करोगे तो वो नो है. मैं आपके घर आ रहा हूं तो आप मुझे मेहमान समझकर आप उसी तरह से ट्रीट करेंगे. लेकिन मैं आपके घर के अंदर घुसकर आपके साथ बदतमीजी करूं, आपके घर में विनाश करने की कोशिश करूं, तो आप क्या करोगे? जिस प्लेट से आप मुझे चाय, कॉफी, नाश्ता दे रहे हो, उसी प्लेट को लेकर मेरे मुंह पे मारोगे ना. Because you will draw the line, na?
Right.
So that is something which we need to do. We as a nation need to tell people we are amiable. आप दोस्त बन के आए हो तो हम दोस्ती करेंगे. आपका इरादा दुश्मनी का है तो भाई 4 फुट दूर ही रहो. सोशल डिस्टेंस ही नहीं, आप उस थोड़ा ज्यादा बना के रखो, क्योंकि यहां आओगे तो आपको पड़ेगी. So this is who we need to be as a nation, because that's how we are,
Right.
If that's what our rules are in our own house as people, why shouldn't that be for us as a nation? आपको यहाँ आइए, जैसे रविशंकर प्रसाद जी ने बहुत सही कहा, आप आइए, पूंजी निवेश कीजिए, पैसा कमाइए, जो भी करना आप करिए, लेकिन एक हद में, एक सीमा में रहकर कि देश की गरिमा को आप चोट नहीं पहुंचाएंगे, देश में अराजकता नहीं फैलाए. आप विचारधाराएं रखिए, आप क्रिटिसिज्म करिए, हमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं.
Right. एंड फॉलोइंग अप ऑन दैट कि हम अपने जैसे घर में हमारे रूल्स हैं कि आप आइए, आप बैठिए, आपको जो करना है करिए, बट एक सीमा तक। तो अब ऐसे हम आगे कंसिडरिंग द करंट स्टेट ऑफ मीडिया, राइट, हम इसी विचार के साथ आगे बढ़ेंगे। तो व्हाट एडवाइस वुड यू गिव टू द यंगस्टर्स दैट वांट टू एंटर दिस फील्ड?
See, there are two, three aspects which I'll be very clear about. Okay, uh, you like it or not, every media house is a cost center. It's a business, right? It's a business.
Right.
So don't come in with ideals and things that your lofted ideology and ideas saying that you're doing some social service. You're not. You're there to make a career. You're doing something which is a profession, and that profession demands a certain level of professionalism and commitment from you. And nothing comes for free. At the end of the month, you want your salary to be paid, right?
Right.
That salary comes because there has to be a certain earning and a certain commercial transaction that has to happen. For the entire organization to run, there is a cost. So there will be certain considerations which will be marketing and commercial considerations, and there will be certain things which will be the principal stand of the organization.
Right.
The organization, when it takes a principal stand, the organization will have a direction in which it wants to go. You have to fall in line with that direction. That is something which you have to understand. You are not here to change the world. You are here to tell the world what is happening in the world. And maybe over the years, you will be able to go ahead and project and communicate in a manner that you want to do. And put out the stories that you want to put out, as long as it is aligned with the overall structure, ethos, and the principles, the governing guidelines of the organization that you want to work for. So that is a reality which all of us have to admit, and all of us have to accept. You can't say that I will do this and this only, but you must pay me my salary for this and this only. ये नहीं हो सकता. You have to do the job and what is asked of you to do, and you have to do it the best. And you must know what you're getting into. That's one aspect. Secondly, I believe today in our country, because there are so many media platforms available, because there are so many opinions, we are a far more informed society. मैं ओजस्वी के विचार पढ़ सकता हूँ, आनंद के विचार पढ़ सकता हूँ, फलाना 3 और लोगों के विचार पढ़ सकता हूँ, 5 लोगों के विचार पढ़ के I can make my own, form my own opinion, and whoever is more convincing, whoever I believe is more convincing, or I believe is aligned to my line of thinking, I will follow those people.
Right.
Plus रही खबर की बात, जो हुआ है घटना, this is editorially opinions, but खबर की बात जो घटना हुई है वो घटना तो हुई है, उसके तो आपके पास तथ्य आ ही जाएंगे. कोई यहाँ के 5 बताएगा, कोई वहां के 5 बताएगा, लेकिन आप तो 10 पढ़ सकते हो ना.
Right.
So that is how the situation is today. And one has to be very, very candid about that.
Right, right. Anandji, my next question is, I do not know how true it is. So please, tell me that there are these talks about how in the previous governments, there were a lot of vast amounts of taxpayers' money that was spent on journalists for, say, expensive flights or hotels or luxurious items. Is that something which is true? And do you think, if it is true, do you think that has changed now?
See, former leaders used to have a huge entourage which used to travel with them. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that only the official national channel, television crew, and one media agency will travel, who will provide the news or the source to all the private channels or private platforms. Anybody else who wants to come, you please come at your own expense, because we are not doing khatardari and we are not doing any cost, because the bill is paid by the public exchequer.
Right.
It's taxpayers' money. This is the Prime Minister's position. In the past, yes, there used to be entourages. In the past, There used to be a lot of whining, dining, drinking, and a lot of expenses which were undertaken. So that is something which used to happen, and that has stopped now. There's nothing, but to say that it was freeloading, it was this way, it was that way, but that was protocol then. This is protocol now. So there's no right or wrong there. But yes, I do agree that wasteful expenditure and public money being spent for causes which are not required is something which is a principled position the Prime Minister has taken, and I agree with that.
Right, right. Okay. And does that have any impact on the relations between the media and the PM? I mean, does it affect their relationship somehow?
My point is, why should it be a transaction? The Prime Minister has been, this is my perspective very clearly, the Prime Minister has been elected to do a job.
Mhm.
Our question is whether or not he's doing the job or not. And what is it that the government is doing via policy? People may have their positions, their opinions. They'll write their opinions, they'll air their opinions, they'll agree with the Prime Minister or disagree with the Prime Minister.
Right.
That's all there is to it. And if the person is working hard, if the person's intent is true, if the person has a direction, then either you agree with that or you disagree with that. I agree with the Prime Minister.
Mhm.
I believe that he has a direction for our country. I trust him that he has the best intent for Bharatvarsh as a country. And as a proud citizen of this country, I'm happy with that. I may not agree with everything that everybody says, but the larger goal and the larger direction, I agree. The Prime Minister's speech in the Parliament is historic. People don't understand what and don't realize the depth. Listen to what he said in Rajya Sabha and listen to what he said in Lok Sabha. Speeches were not prepared speeches. They were notes that he had to lean upon. But what the Prime Minister aired was his own grammar of governance. What the Prime Minister has aired is what he believes will be the policy of the government under him, under his leadership, the Rashtra That is what he said. He has said that he will work for the upliftment and the freedom of the smallest Kisan.
Mhm.
That is about 80 to 82% of our country is these small Kisans. He says, I'm going to work for them. And then he was candid to say that this government and we as a nation cannot function without the private sector.
Right.
We cannot run companies, the government. The private sector can. We cannot create as many jobs that the private sector can.
Mhm.
Their job, their role in nation building, even during this COVID times, is phenomenal. We wouldn't have been manufacturing the kind of PPE kits that we are manufacturing had the private companies not come step forth, textile and research and everywhere stepped up and said, "We will deliver. We will deliver." They have, right?
Right.
That is what is important. The Prime Minister has a vision. The Prime Minister has defined and articulated his vision, and he's done it this in this session in after the budget in response and thanking the President's speech. The Prime Minister has actually said, "This is how my word of governance is," and it was not a prepared text. It came from his heart.
Mhm.
And that's why I believe that now Prime Minister Narendra Modi, as Modi 2.0, has actually said, this is how we want to push, and this is our Rashtra Niti for Naya Bharat.
Right. Right. Well, Anandji, when students like me, when we're trying to understand what and how journalism is in our country and I mean worldwide, in fact, there are of course some excellent journalists, right?
Yeah.
Who I mean, absolutely amazing. But we also cannot sort of deny the fact that misinformation and manipulation of information does take place. So, what can you tell our audience about the efforts to make at least Indian journalism across the board more professional and honest?
Well, see, my perspective may differ from yours, but does that mean either of us is dishonest?
It
No,
does.
it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't mean that,
Actually,
right? But yeah, if you try and be economical with facts,
mhm.
then you can question the integrity of the person. But interpreting certain facts You cannot question the right to interpreting certain facts. You can have a perspective about certain numbers and certain facts. I may have a different perspective about the same numbers and the same facts. So, so that is different. Perspective and perception, deliberately creating a particular perception, they're two different things. And I just want to delineate that. So I'm all for those who want to interpret certain facts in a particular manner and present it. I'm not for those and not with those who deliberately misinterpret facts and push for misinformation because they have a particular agenda. I'm not with them. Are there such elements? Yes, there are. What will happen to them? Well, they will run their natural course. कि झूठ के पाँव नहीं होते और सच कहीं छुपा नहीं छुपता. So eventually, as the Prime Minister said, the truth will dawn. People will realize, yes, it is going to take some time, but you have to wait out the storm, and there will be balance.
Right. Anandji, well, my last question to you is that we have seen this upsurge of the Coup app recently.
Yeah.
Right. And I personally think it's absolutely incredible that we as a nation are putting out platforms such as that. But what is your opinion on it, and what future do you see for platforms in India after the Coup app has sort of come up?
TikTok. Okay. When India banned it, they shut down. They lost $15 billion in 4 days. Or less than a month, if I remember correctly, in share stock markets, because the bulk of their users were from here. Bulk of Twitter's users are from here. Bulk of Facebook's users are from here. Bulk of the people who are actually coding for Google, who are running Google, are from here.
Right.
कोई भी टेक प्लेटफॉर्म ले लो, उसके पीछे का बैकबोन जो है, टिकटॉक का भी बैकबोन यहीं से है. इंडियंस ही हैं, सब कोडिंग कर रहे हैं, सब कर रहे हैं. तो अगर वो दूसरे के लिए कर सकते हैं, हमारे खुद के ऐप क्यों नहीं हो सकते?
Right.
The thing is that we do not believe in ourselves and our own products and our own ability. एक बाहर का ब्रांड लगता है ना, तो लगता है अरे वाह, आप लेबल निकाल के देखो, मेड इन इंडिया लिखा है भाई. तो वही चीज उसी फैक्ट्री से कोई दूसरा बंदा अपनी लेबल लगा के बोले कि ये देखो, ये यहाँ मैंने बनाया, तो रियली शुड आई रियली ट्रस्ट इट? दिस इज आवर फॉल्ट. Not just Coup, Chingari, there are so many other apps. I want all of these apps to do well. And we need to fund these apps. We need to fund these people. And we need to get them to become the best, so that a Coup becomes a rage in America, and a Coup becomes a rage in China, and a Coup becomes a rage in South Africa, or in the UK. That's what we need to do.
Right.
I want many more apps like that. And now investors are now going to back. There are more people who are stepping up saying, I will back you. What we need to do is take pride in our work, take pride in our integrity, and put a value to the quality that we produce.
Right.
A benchmark, दूसरे के लिए हम quality work करने को तैयार, अपने खुद के लिए क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं? The moment we start doing that, putting a price, and we need to learn from nations like Japan. आप जापान जाए ना, टोक्यो जाएंगे, so if you go into a shop, like a grocery shop or any place, आपको सारी shelf में ना, cosmetics, सब कुछ, everything will be local. There is a separate kiosk for foreign brands, जहाँ कोई नहीं जाता, सिर्फ टूरिस्ट जाते हैं. हमारे यहाँ क्या है, जो लोकल ब्रांड्स है ना, वो एक कॉर्नर में होते हैं, और जो डिस्प्ले पे होता है वो सब बाहर के ब्रांड होते हैं. आप फर्क समझ रहे हैं?
Yes.
The Japanese put a value to their own produce, and they pay more for their own product because they know it's better quality. And they say कि if I don't believe in my own product, तो दुनिया बाहर वाला क्यों करेगा?
Right.
We need to do that. We need to value our products, our produce, our brands, and moment we start doing that, we will improve in quality. And the moment we improve in quality, we will become the best in the world. अरे भाई, दिमाग तो हमारा ही है ना भाई. इन सारे एप्स के पीछे बैकबोन हम ही लोग हैं. तो हम हमारे खुद के क्यों नहीं खड़े कर सकते? We can very easily.
Right, right. Well, thank you so much, Anandji. It was a pleasure having you here, and thank you so much for sharing all of these insights with us.
Thank you.
To our viewers, please like, share, and subscribe, and we will be back with another fantastic, insightful conversation. Namaste, namaste, Anandji, and namaste.
Namaste. Namaste. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Namaste. We hope you enjoyed this Chitti Media content. Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.